Alright, we're decided to tear this saw down, port it. It is a really nice saw, but the thing's just a little lazy in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, it cuts good, has plenty of torque, you can't hardly lug it down. Do a before and after. I've done took the saw out, made a couple cuts, got it on video through a chains that had a fresh grind on it. That is a little 16-inch bar. That's what this thing would have came with. When I bought it, it actually didn't have a bar. This bar was on my Pro Mat. As you can see, the saw does a little good. I've even got it showing the tachometer. I've seen a lot of people do that. Seemed like my ported Pro Max 700 is turning around 13.5, and it's still a little rich at that. But this saw was turning this free bar, I think 10.5. Should be able to see it, maybe. I don't know. I'm not going to do a bolt for bolt on tearing this down, but I will show it as it's being took apart, because I just don't want to have to upload videos that long. But first thing I'm gonna do is pull the bar and chain and the handlebar off, and I'll cut you back on. Then basically on this handlebar you've got a bolt up here, and you got a couple bolts and nuts here in the bottom that are kind of a pain to get to, and it comes off. But I'll cut you back on once I've got it started disassembly. I see a lot of people bitching about these side covers. I really don't understand the issue. This is a scrunch. I think this one came from Walmart. It was Oregon. I just don't see the problem with it. It's that simple. I'm just going to tell you right now, these two bottom handle bolts can be a pain in the ass to get. Mainly this one. But as I expected, this old saw's going to come apart easy. I have taken the starter housing off about a week ago after a video I made where I started this saw in the 55. It does not have electronic ignition, but once I got to looking in the manuals, it's normal they don't. This saw was made around 1970 or 71. But we've got a chip to put in it when we go back together. So I'll be doing away with the points. I think that's a lot of the problem with these versus the Pro Max saws. could be taking this apart with an impact, but this nice of a saw, I don't really want to risk screwing anything up. There's a little bitty plate in here, but it looks like this one's not wanting to come loose. Yeah. Said I wasn't going to do a bolt for bolt, but hey, I'll take a few out on camera. That handle's in really nice shape. Normally they get bent and crushed right here. On this starter cover, you have a screw here, 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 one in the center, and one at the top. Should come apart pretty easy considering I've already had it apart. I pulled the cover off the 55 too. It also didn't have electronic. I wasn't for sure on that saw, but it looked like it was made around the same time as this saw, around 1970, 71. I think it could have been made up to 74. I'd have to go back and look. I was going to pull that saw down and port it, but the carburetor is non-adjustable. Looking at the price, it seems people want a fortune for that adjustable carburetor. If someone watching this has one they want to let go really cheap, let me know. I could pull the saw down and port it anyway without the carb, but I'd just rather not. My dog loves to bark. Whoever had this saw took pretty good care of it. I'm going to leave those bolts in that cover and set it on another table. Next thing I'm going to do is remove this bottom handle and then start on the gas tank cover, but there's like a little tab under this bolt. And you have to just do what I done, take a screwdriver and bend that back. Then once you've got that little tab bent back, you can remove this bolt. Said I wasn't going to do a bolt for bolt, but honestly I've not seen a real good video on this. I've seen a lot of people just tear them down on camera and not explain what the hell they're doing, but I understand that. People have got to make money. And if everybody knew how, well, you've got a bolt back here flat tip. I'm going to just put that right back in. I don't want to lose that piece. I don't know if any of my other saws still have that. I'll have to look. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take this oil cover off this oil tank, because there's a screw that goes up into the bottom of the fuel tank. They are tight. I don't think this one's ever been out by the way it feels. We should be able to use a screwdriver now. I got oil all over my hands while I'm so slippery. I drained oil out of this tank into a jug and got more on the table than I did in the jug. That gasket looks good. I've honestly took apart a few of these and I've never had one to stick. Clean what's left of the oil out. This saw oil's awesome. Okay, I don't know how well it'll show, but there's a screw right there. You have to use an Allen wrench to get it out. I'm not going to hunt it on camera, but I'll cut you back on in a second. I don't recommend going in at that angle, but this one came loose really easy. If I'm not mistaken, there should be a spacer between this and the tank. It's like a washer. Been a few months since I've had one of these old saws apart. I'm going to attempt to remove this whole assembly as one piece. We shall see how that plans out. This thing does have tillets and carburetor. Okay, the first thing you're going to do, I've got those bolts loose, is take the choke lever out of there, lift your carb up, it should spin one way or the other. Well, I'd recommend you take your fuel line off first. That line's still in good shape. We have a new one though, we might put on it anyway. That's not what I wanted it to do, but those are a complete pain in the ass to get back in, but it'll be okay. Okay, to get this handle off, you have another one of those little tabs under your bolt. Bolt here, bolt here. Go ahead and take those out. You got a rod that goes up for your oiler. This saw needed took apart anyway and cleaned. Get a rod goes from your manual oiler up to the pump. Well, you get the idea. Plug wire off. This you would normally just slide up out of there. That one's in really good shape. Look at the factory paint on that thing. We'll remove the coil. You get a bolt here, bolt here. And this coil has a wire that came from the handle and plugged in. I'd already removed it. Hopefully we have a socket to fit that on this set. There should be. There we have it. Cool. We've got to pull our big boy impact out to get the clutch and flywheel off. The little one wouldn't do it. Okay, now that the air compressor kicked off, normally these flywheels don't just fall off, but I think it's the fact that we hammering on it with both impacts. You can see the big impact just zipped that clutch right off. Flywheel done the same way, and then the flywheel just fell off. Normally what I'll do is put the nut back on and just hold up on the flywheel and gently hit it, the hammer on the nut. And it usually don't take much and it'll pop right off, but about all we have left to do now is start taking these case bolts out. I'll cut you back on then. Might as well show taking this points, I guess you'd call it compartment, I don't know. We're not putting it back on. It'll just be more drag on the crankshaft. I'll show how I'm converting it to electronic when we go back together. just a little chip. The wire that goes to the points. You'll just replace that with the chip, like this wire. Instead of running this wire over here, I'll just take this wire and run it to that chip. Okay, I've got the screws out of this, but before I lift it, you got a screw here in the condenser, and then you got one here and one here. Just lift it off, and I'd already pulled the half moon key out just for the sake of video time. It's simple. You just grab with the pair of snips or pliers, whatever you've got, and yank it off. I throw this in here. Alright, we're going to pull the muffler off. Once again, this has a bracket. It has tabs that bend up around each head of each bolt. They knew these saws were going to vibrate, so they didn't want them to fall apart. These saws were way ahead of their time. I know you've heard a lot of other people say that. I'd already bent those back off camera because they can be a pain in the ass. We should have a muffler gasket. Looks like it's stuck to the cylinder, so we'll be leaving it there. Okay, for sake of video time and me hunting a 1/4" socket that was missing, okay, you got 4 bolts in here, and you've got 4 on the outside of the case. One here, 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 and back in here. That one you have to really have a good socket to get on, but then your case is loose. It's that simple. Just don't dump your bolt out like I just done. Okay, so it's probably a good thing we did tear this saw down. The seal on the, I think that's the flywheel side. No, that's the PTO side. The spring had come out of it, it fell apart. I do have another seal off of a Pro Max cylinder and jug, I think.